looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, 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 trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no.
There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. It's been a pretty good day today, guys. Pretty good day as far as well, shorts, I guess you would say. Pretty good day out in the real world, I guess you could say. But in the crypto world, sorry, Loki's coming over here to say hi because he knows I'm talking with you guys now. Yeah, I know, you gotta go. But what do you call this? Yeah, I know. Yeah, is it out? Okay. But anyway, I know you gotta move. I gotta use my hand for the mouse. Oh, there we go. No, don't bite hands. There you go. But anyway, this downward move's been continuing. We've talked about this for the past few days. Bitcoin is still bearish. That's not going to change anytime soon. The one thing that I have been doing is continuing to buy underneath the 100 weekly moving average here. That's something I've been doing a lot of here. And so far I've just been kind of buying smaller to mid-sized positions. I'm really waiting for us to hit below, let's say, $25,000 before I hit that really big purchase, so to speak. The things I'm waiting for, one of two things here. I'm either waiting for a major capitulation on the daily chart specifically, or I'm going to be waiting until we run into the 200 weekly moving average. At this point, if we are following the stock market, this is the first time Bitcoin's capitulated into a stock market here, with the stock market here, besides COVID, I guess. So I'm kind of watching this pretty closely to see are we just going to have a slow grind down here, or are we finally just going to have some type of big drop off that everybody really panics on. At this moment in time, I still think we can capitulate, but man, we're just kind of getting this nice slow grinding power here, and that's what everybody's going to be waiting for. Excuse me. But we just gave up $29,000 as far as Bitcoin's concerned. We're just about $70 below it, so not too much here. But if you guys are looking at the weekly chart, it still looks like we're due for another few bad weeks. Maybe we might have a week of choppiness where we just kind of go up a little bit before ultimately coming back down, because this is something we've never seen before, and I'll keep on reminding you guys of that. There's a lot of new stuff that we haven't seen before, like all these red candles here on the weekly chart. It's going to become a pain for us down the road. On the short term here, let's bring this over. Our next Fibonacci level is actually, let me see if I can get out of magnet mode for us very fast. Is about another 20% down if we do reach that next Fibonacci level, going from the 2018 lows, 2020 lows, I think it was COVID lows, till the 69,000. I think we're most likely going to tap on this $23,000 level, and then from there we might have a good opportunity to bounce for at least a day or something. When you bounced off of this Fibonacci level, not too much happened here, honestly. So we'll see. That was mostly because we just had started a breakdown. The first time we tapped on it, we had a nice move. The second time we tapped on it, we had a good move. Okay, so first and second times tapped on it. I think first time we tap on this $23,000 level, you may have a fake rally that will still be good enough to buy. I am probably going to buy a little bit at this Fibonacci level whenever we get down there. But again, we're still like 20% from that point right there. So Bitcoin can definitely keep on falling here. The only other Fibonacci level that I've been keeping track of here is for long-term trades is if you move it over here to the 2018 lows and not to the 2020 COVID lows. So we need that there. Perfect. Okay. Go back to the daily chart. The next level of support we have for this one, we only tapped on this Fibonacci level once and we went up. We didn't tap on it the second time. Okay. But as far as this Fibonacci level is concerned, guys, we're about 27% away from it, and that's at about $21,000. So the other Fibonacci level is a little bit closer. That's why I'm watching a little bit, more closely, I guess you could say as well. All right, but let me move some stuff around here very fast. Let's go back to the weekly chart. Boom, boom. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. All right. Hello, everybody. I know I just said that a while ago, but I know Loki kind of came out of here out of nowhere. Hey, Trev. Hey, Michael. Hey, Tony. And hey, Cameron. Hope you guys all doing okay. Hey, Putin Smokes Mids. And hey, Jay. What's going on right now? What is also here? Hey, Bideford. Happy to see you back as well. Hey, Starscream. Hey, Mike. Good to see you, man. Hope you got some rest. And hey, Francisco. Hi, Michael. The rest paid off. Your voice sounds much better. And hey, Doge. I mean, yes, it did. Basically, it was like a mix of my voice and not enough sleep. I'm one of those people who, when I get into a really bad sleeping cycle, I have to force myself to sleep in bed all day, or at least do nothing all day. That way I can just kind of go on and off sleeping. And that's what I had to do yesterday, just kind of like turn off my brain. Because normally, I'm usually doing something. Like yesterday, no, not yesterday, but the previous day morning, I only got like 3 hours of sleep before, something like that. So it kind of hit me hard yesterday. 2 days ago, something like that. But yeah, all that lack of sleep hit me hard, so I needed to really take a break off of it. And mostly, I didn't take a break over the weekend. That's what it was either. I need to find it. I need to find a time of the week to take breaks. I need to make it set. But usually, so much stuff happens on the weekend that I'm thinking, should I take a break Wednesday, Thursdays? What should I do? I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't mean I'm not making videos. It just means I'm not streaming and kind of using my voice as much. But what I ended up doing yesterday and today is I'm on Reddit and on Fiverr, whatever it's called, and I'm looking for an editor for my morning videos, my crypto update videos. That way I can actually just send him all the footage, pay him like $5 a video, $10 a video, like it's like $200 a month, something like that, not that much, and then that person will fix up the video, make it look nice, and then from there, they'll deliver it back to me around like 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then by like 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, I would have that daily update video for you guys, all done, crisp, and cleaned up. Because I figured out what's taking up so much of my time right now as I'm trying to make videos. It's the editing process. I know how to edit a little bit, but editing is just very, very, very difficult for me to do, and it's very taxing. So I'm going to try to give up on it right now, or at least find somebody, well, not give up, I'm trying to pay somebody to do it, basically. And I think that'll make my videos a lot better because I'm still learning how to do editing, and I want to just hurry up and skip all that practice run, if you will, and just kind of go, hey, let me pay you to do my editing for you, $10 a video, and let's see where it goes. And usually you get people from all over the world that, $10 is a lot of money, so kind of helps me out that way, so it's not as expensive, especially since I'm still waiting on my income from the last 3 months or so, something like that, so. But anyway, it's been a pretty good day, guys. Channel-wise, busy. I've been working on that tutorial as well, kind of in the background. And just kind of looking at the charts a little bit. I watched the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial for a brief minute. It got really boring today, like extremely boring, so I stopped watching it. Anything else? No. Hung out with Loki for a little bit. He's been having a lot of energy as always, as you guys just saw here a few minutes ago. No, it's right here. And hello, Scratcher. You heard Tesla stock got kicked out of the S&P 500 today? Yeah, I saw that today. I don't think it's going to be too much of a big thing for Tesla. I mean, it may send a bit of a shock for its a tumble for its stock or something like that. But I think Tesla's going to be fine in the long run. Elon's net worth might take a hit, though. That might be something. But usually billionaires just kind of ride these waves. So I'm pretty sure Elon's not too flustered by it at all. But I don't think it's too much of news today. Well, I don't think Elon's too concerned about it. Or I guess probably. But yeah, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today was, well, a few things. The first main thing was earnings came out today for a few, or this week for a few big retailers. You know, Walmart. Target was the big one actually today. Target. And Target dropped about 26%, I think. I'm not actually sure how much it fell by the end of the day. Yeah, Target was down about 24.93% today. And one of the things we're seeing more and more with earnings now is they're having to be more and more honest, because instead of the tech businesses and stuff like that, now we're focusing more on retail, and retail hires a bunch of employees. Retail has a bunch of jobs. Retail, without the retail market doing good, the manufacturers aren't going to be doing good, and the corporate side isn't going to be doing good as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that. CNBC has some good stories on it right now. There you go. Here's what Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's tell us about the state of the American consumer. It's not all bad, but it's a good part of it is bad here. And one of the things you guys can see right now, hopefully it gets better for tomorrow. Maybe we can have a little bit more of an update. Dow futures are down, S&P futures are down, and the NASDAQ futures are all down as well. So, as far as the market was concerned, this was a pretty nasty day. And you know what? That's okay. I have shorts open right now. So the more we go down, the happier I get, right? I have low... low leverage shorts right now. That way, in case we pop, I'm not losing too much money. But, well, I guess right now I'm in the money. But still, I'm just kind of patiently waiting for us to kind of go back down a little bit more over the next few days/weeks. But let's take a look here at this story from CNBC. Didn't have a chance to get tea today. There you go. But I think this is an interesting read. I read it a little bit earlier. I told my mom about it because she was asking me when she got back home a while ago, Michael, what's going on with the market? So I did give her this whole spiel, and then she didn't understand what I was saying, so I thought I would just show her this article. But how well is the American consumer holding up against sky-high inflation? It depends on who you ask. Oh my gosh. 4 major retailers, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's, reported quarterly financial results this week, and they each offered a different perspective on where and how people are spending their money. Walmart said some of its more price-sensitive consumers are beginning to trade down to private label brands, while Home Depot emphasized the resiliency among its consumer base, a sizable percentage of which is professional builders and contractors. The reports came after Amazon in late April flashed warning signs for the retail industry when it booked the slowest revenue growth for any quarter since the dot-com bust in 2001 and offered up a bleak forecast. Still, on Wall Street, expectations on Wall Street were higher this week for both Walmart and Target. Analysts and investors didn't anticipate the two big box retailers would take such a massive hit to their profits in the latest period as supply chain costs weighed on sales and unwanted inventory, such as TVs, kitchens, appliances piled up. Walmart closed Tuesday down 11.4%, marking its worst day since October 1987. On Wednesday, Walmart fell another 7%, while Target had its worst day in 35 years. Okay? Now, the rest is kind of more about contracting and kind of more the home side of things. But what I'm more focused on is Target and Walmart. We've been talking about this, I think, for months now. And as soon as we started talking about inflation, and even from last week, we were talking about how inflation at the beginning, it hurts the poorest among us first. And then as inflation gets worse and worse and worse, the poor become more and more affected. But on top of that, it starts creeping up into the higher, lower classes, then eventually the lower middle classes, and then the pure middle class, middle of the middle class, and then the high middle class there, okay? And right now, you're mostly seeing it affect the middle class and below, not really the upper middle class too much. The only complaints I've seen with upper middle class people is more about travel, and I don't think people have really sympathy for that. My mom and I were watching some news, and some parent was complaining that because they could afford it, And it reminds me of when I was a kid and we could take no trips in a year. We didn't even know what a vacation was, right? So you're not going to find much sympathy, I don't think, from the average American on that stuff. But as far as what we're looking at right now here, I think you're going to start seeing those places that sell those luxury products, or even just products that that have higher margins. You're going to start seeing people not pay that amount of money for whatever luxury product they want, and they're just going to buy that really cheap brand just to keep on getting by, and so they can kind of spend all their money doing whatever else they want to do, right? An easy way to do this is, easy way to think about this is, if you guys go to Walmart, Safeway, Fred Meyer, those West Coast things, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, are you going to buy the name brand ketchup at $5 per ketchup bottle, or are you going to buy the Safeway Signature ketchup for like $3 a bottle? You're most likely just going to switch it down to $3 to save out some money. Well, in the process, some people are going to make money off of that, the people that make the cheap one, but the big name brands, who have a big monopoly, and so to speak, on the market, or they used to, they're going to be losing revenue, and that may hurt out some of the manufacturing plants. Some of the news that we saw today and for the past week is you're starting to see layoffs. And these aren't like massive layoffs, like tens of thousands of people laid off from company A, B, or C. No, we're not talking about nasty layoffs like in terms like the news is going to be covering. You're starting to see those first few instances of, whoa, these companies are laying off people. Netflix is laying off people. Twitter, I think, will lay off people here eventually. We had some trucking companies lay off people. And not truckers, I want to emphasize that, not truckers. They're laying off people at the office side, the business side of things, because there's a slower demand right now. And the fact that they're having to figure out how to cut cost when gas prices continue to rise. And now I've been seeing on the news and on CNBC.com and all those other places, there's a chance that the average national price for gas may go up to $6 a gallon. Now, things are already pretty bad as far as, supply chain and how expensive everything is. At $4 a gallon, I think it's like $4.20, something like that. It's more expensive here in Washington. But, you're already paying that. Well, imagine if it jumps up another $1.50 or so from the national standpoint. Corporations, if it's a necessary product, they have a very good system of just passing all of those costs onto the consumer, right? So if all of a sudden it costs them, let's say Target has a product that costs $5 for them to get into the store, and they sell it for $10, right? Well, if all of a sudden it costs $7 to get into the store, guess what? You're now paying $12 for that same item, okay? They have a very good way of just passing those costs on to the consumer, and we're starting to see the consumer say no. When the consumer says no, the companies have to switch up what they're doing, and it's not as easy as just lowering the cost, because then they lose money. They're going to keep the cost high, but in the meantime, they're going to start laying off some people that they don't need, because ultimately there's going to be less traffic in the stores. It's unfortunate the system we're in right now, but we've been expecting this for months, guys. As soon as we heard about inflation, seeing how it's been getting worse and worse and worse, I think what did I explain it as? I told you guys about the streaming conundrum. If I'm paying for like 6 different streaming platforms and inflation hits and I have less money, well, I'm going to start unsubscribing to streaming platforms. And I didn't think it was going to be Netflix that got hit the hardest, but it was Netflix that got hit the hardest, right? So you're starting to see that stuff as well. And I think over time, what people are going to end up doing is, if they're smart and they're kind of more budgety, which they will have to be in these market conditions, you might actually see a consumer go quarterly with each one of their, quarterly or monthly with one of those streaming products, which means, I have HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, or the Apple streaming service, HBO Max, I don't know. I got like 5 or 6. There's too many to count. I'm sorry. But basically, I just pay for all of mine every month because my mom uses all of my accounts, so I just let her use them. I don't really watch all of them too much. But if I was being a little bit more frugal with my money because I was getting really hit by inflation, or, I had to take my kid to school or something like that, and all of a sudden I noticed that, it costs twice as much to take my kid to school as it did a year ago, well, you know what? Maybe instead of having Netflix 12 months of the year, maybe my kids, or me and my son or kid, I don't have a kid, but you know what I mean. Maybe we just have Netflix for 2 months of the year, then we have Disney Plus for 2 months of the year, then we have HBO Max for 2 months of the year, and then we have Blake for 2 months of the year, Amazon Prime for 2 months of the year, and then we have, there's a whole bunch of different stuff, right? So, you may start to see consumers do that as well. I really don't see the point of paying for streaming services all year long because I just don't watch. They don't all make good programming all year long. The only exception to that might be Disney Plus. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff there. HBO Max always has something good. I'm started to watch Barry on that show on that platform. So but Netflix, I haven't had a chance to watch a good show on Netflix in a minute here. Maybe they have one now, but I have not been checking up on Netflix for a while. So my mom probably has, my family probably has, but not me, right? So you're gonna start to see those problems increase and get worse and worse and worse over the next few months. And of course, you're starting to see all the CEOs and stuff say pretty negative stuff as well. I think that there was a survey that came out today or yesterday saying 68% of all CEOs said that they believe we're headed for a recession, not an extreme recession, a mild recession. A mild recession is still bad for middle class and below. An extreme recession hurts the rich because their stocks really go down hard. That's what they consider extreme, okay? So we're still in a bad spot economically, guys. We're going to see what happens here as far as the markets go. I think the market should find a bottom here soon enough. The good thing about the market here is the market is forecasting what they think prices are going to be in the future. So by the time the prices start going up, when the prices start going back up here, which may be in the next month or two, maybe more than that, but that's going to when things really start to look better in terms of the markets, not for the average economy here, but for the markets themselves. So, the markets are a future indicator of where people think the economy is going. And right now, everybody is forecasting a really bad economy coming up. So, same old, same old. And hey, Miss K, hey everybody, hey Doge Master. What is going on right here? What's right there? Oh, hey Jared. Oh, okay. What do you call it? I was not knowing who Putin was for a second. And hey, I5, what's going on right here? And hey, Little Scratcher, did I hear about the baby formula? Oh yeah, the baby formula shortage has been going on for a while now. Biden just now. Oh shit! My sister's cat came downstairs and now she's down here with a shut door. Logie, come over here. Logie, come over here. Logie, hold on. I'm gonna save I'm gonna save my dog's life. The cat. I don't like the cat. Well, I like the cat, but not in place of Loki. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna open up the door. Loki, come get a treat. Come on, get a treat. There you go. I'm gonna open up the door for the word. All right, I'm back. Just have no head yet. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. That cat always sneaks downstairs. I don't know how she does it, but again, my sister's cat is like that big while they're living here, and my dog is a German Shepherd, so I always want to protect the cat, even though I'm pretty sure Loki's lost every battle he's had with that cat because the cat just swipes him. Let's see. But yeah, that baby food shortage is been going on for a while, man. The thing is, the administration seemed really, really slow with actually trying to fix the problem here because I think it took the administration by surprise when it happened because the news started covering it. But it was the government itself and the bureaucracy that really slowed down this whole process here, right? So I don't really blame Biden for making it happen. I think people are going to blame him more for the how long it took to really create a response from it, I guess you would say. But as far as I can see with that baby food shortage, Biden just did the Emergency Production Act, like just now. I think it was today after all this time to really get things going. I don't know if it's really going to make a difference. Loki, get over here. Loki, I see you. Yeah, there you go. I think it's going to... Loki, I got treats. I'm going to bribe you. No, he's being really nice about it. Okay. But yeah, I think it'll get solved up pretty soon, but you're already hearing of babies going to hospitals apparently, so that's not a good thing. So hopefully they can get it resolved pretty fast. I don't have a child, so I don't really know how baby formula actually works in any way whatsoever. But I do know a lot of parents need it, and so I'm hoping they can get it going pretty fast. If you go to the front page of CNBC, I think they actually talking about it. Yeah, Biden invokes the Defense Production Act to boost baby formula manufacturing to ease the shortage. And President Joe Biden on Wednesday invoked the Defense Production Act to increase baby formula manufacturing to ease the nationwide shortage caused by the closure of a key plant in Michigan. Biden is requiring suppliers to direct ingredients to baby formula manufacturers before any other companies who may have placed orders for the same goods. It wasn't immediately clear which major suppliers are subject to the order. Um, let's see. Oh, and so he's also getting. We're going to use aircraft to go pick up baby formula from other countries. Man, that's okay. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Okay, but yeah, that's about it for that one. But yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, I'm hoping it gets better, but usually the bureaucracy takes a long time to churn, and the government did a really poor job on this one specifically here, right? But we'll see how it does. And hey, baby fish, happy to see you back. Um, Netflix only has Cobra Kai. Oh man. And hey, Hector the Dude, happy to see you back as well. Visa and Master raising the interest rates, intercharge rates. Prices will rise or prices will drop. Hey Jay, whenever I think of Visa or Mastercard raising the rates, I think it's just another surcharge to the consumer. You're just going to see on the bottom of your receipt, Mastercard charge, Visa charge. It's going to be that much more expensive on the prices. You may not actually see it on the receipt, but you're going to see it in the price regardless. Um, there's a reason why I hold Visa and Mastercard both in my retirement account. They are not going anywhere. They are powerful institutions, and I think eventually, down the road, they're going to find a way to make money in the crypto sector as well. I've been watching some. Well, I haven't checked in about a month here or so, but I normally have been checking on their job pages to see if Visa or Mastercard is actually going into the crypto space. And by that I mean, do they have a digital asset expert, something like that? Because if they do, then they can start, at least planning to make some good money in this next little revolution that we have in the crypto world, Web3, all that good jam stuff. I'll be waiting to see what they do with it. But I think Visa and MasterCard are going to be great long-term holds just because of what they do and as well as everything else here. But, yeah, and the economy is in a pickle, guys. It's going to get worse here. We're going to see how far we go down as far as the bottom's concerned here. We have a few levels of support. The first one, as far as Fibonacci standpoint, is back over here at about 23,000. After that, it goes about to $21,000 here. And then, that kind of runs smack dab to where you guys are looking at the 200 weekly moving average. If I were to go over to the daily chart right now and actually just show you guys the 200 weekly moving average at this point, let me adjust this here. Will this one work? 1 week 200 and it's orange, I guess. Yeah, okay. There we go, boys and girls. That's our goal right there. We could always go well below this like we have in the past, but usually that's a pretty good goal if you are trying to buy a bulk amount of crypto. So in this circumstance, we have another 25% Bitcoin can go down, what should go down before we hit that level, okay? So if you're hoping to buy down there, that's what you're hoping for. Back during COVID or 2020 when the economy shut down, we went well below that 200 weekly moving average. Back here in 2018, we went below it just a little bit, and I mean just a little bit. We never actually closed down below the 200 weekly moving average. And then, of course, back over here in 2014, way back in time, I guess now, that's like 8 years ago. Um, we broke down below it for 1 day, came back up, and broke down below it for 1 day. A few days actually here after this next drop, and then came back up eventually. But it was a little bit of a rough time for the markets then. For crypto markets, not the stock markets. I don't actually remember what was going on in the stock market then. All right, but okay. That's kind of the vibe of what's going on here, guys. The one thing I'll just kind of show you very fast. We'll just quickly go through the majority of the coins out here. I'm not going to do too much like deep diving into them unless you guys have a particular question on one, and then I'll kind of go over it. But Ethereum, that is not the right. Probably best just to go to COVID lows. There we go. Ethereum is barely holding over its Fibonacci levels right here. Barely holding. I mean, the 15-minute chart. Yeah, it's holding that Fibonacci level very closely. I suspect when Ethereum finally breaks down below this level, you'll see Bitcoin have that big moment where it really starts to crumble down. Like over the past few days here, we got down here a little bit. We managed to close above it. Then usually we bounce once or twice off of Fibonacci levels. We just talked about that with Bitcoin here. But on the third or fourth time, when it really starts to fall, it really starts to fall. So if we go over here to the daily chart, see how we closed above it? Closed above it here. We closed above it here barely, and now we're trying to have a little more of a bounce day today. So It looks pretty close that like Ethereum might lead the way on this drop, kind of how Bitcoin led the way on the last drop. Um, we'll see, but Ethereum is like really barely holding up above its Fibonacci levels, and we'll see, how it really reacts here. On the weekly chart, it looks more like this, but on the daily chart and the 15-minute chart, you can really see how important that Fibonacci level is right now. All right, going back to the weekly chart, we don't need this one for Doge anymore. That one's old. There we go. Everything you're seeing right now pretty much has the exact same shape on the weekly, still coming down. You're just going to be looking for those base levels of support. Right now, Dogecoin, if Bitcoin has that big move down, could probably go down towards 4 cents or so. Matic at the support level here as well. Old one, ADA, at a Fibonacci level, breaking down below the 200 weekly moving average. Having a death cross between the 20-week and the 100-week. That's interesting. XRP breaking down here this week. We didn't break down last week. We came close, but we did not on the weekly chart specifically. She coming down here below the fib levels. So you are seeing a whole bunch of bearish moves. That's my point, guys. You're seeing a whole bunch of bearish moves, and you're seeing the setup where either later on this week or next week we could have a major move down, or a kind of a past week where we just kind of like do nothing where it goes sideways and then come back up. But I don't know if the traditional markets like the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow are really going to be able to slow down this downward trend that they're on. And we'll talk about those in a second here. But everything right now is either breaking down, heading for a next level of support. Well, yeah, pretty much just breaking down on the verge of breaking down. Let's say that. Dot breaking down below the fibs. We tapped on the fib over here. Well, that's why, because it messed up over there a little bit too. STMX breaking down below the old trend line, just like it did last time. We really don't need this trend line anymore. We kind of went too choppy with it on the 5 and the 15-minute charts here. But a lot of breakdowns. Breakdown, came back up, retested, got knocked down. You're just seeing a whole bunch of stuff get smacked down here. No matter what coin it is, they're all just having a rough time here. FTM, I think, may have a big plunge. It may go all the way down to a freaking nickel if it has another bad time like it did last week. But this week was really bad. Hopefully in the short term, maybe FTM only goes back down to the 15, 16 cents. That may be where Bitcoin. Well, let me see. If Bitcoin were to fall about another 25% to get down to the 200 weekly moving average, you might see a good opportunity for altcoins to probably go down another 50% from where they are now, and that's not all the way down to a nickel. So 50%, yeah, 50% is right here at this white line. I'll see if I can buy some around 16 cents here. That may be kind of interesting. ICP still looking like it wants to test out another low here. Again, this is a kind of reminder if you guys are new to the channel. One of the easy things to trade in the market after a big, crazy, bad day is usually ICP, because every time it finds a new all-time low, it usually has a pretty good rebound. Last example was right here. If you bought sometime by the low, you can just say, sometime by the low. You sold not the peak, but it's when it got choppy. You could have made 54% in just about a day and a half or so just by holding. ICP is really good about that one. Anything else you have real interest? I don't think so. Link is still doing okay, breaking down, yeah, new lows. Litecoin going down here as well. Litecoin has really just not been hot at all. This thing has been kind of boring for a long time here. Mana continuing the fall here. Mana is back to $1.04. Mana really took a nasty move last week. Should I just take off the Fibonacci levels? I think I should. Yeah, there we go. This had a wild week, a really nice recovery, and now it's just tanking back again. So, Elon, Dogelon, still falling. This one, I don't know if this actually can be shorted anywhere in particular, just because it has a very small market cap, but I could really, this would be a really fun one to short. I'm just going to be buying the dips here on that one. Sol, coming back down to an old support level here, tapped on it, or got close to tapping on it there. Actually, this is a little off, isn't it? There we go. But yeah, so we have a little bit more time to come on before there, or a little bit more downward move, some more downward moves. Yeah, sorry guys. Anything else here? Sol coming down still. Crow continue to come down. Crow can come all the way down to about 10 cents. Apecoin can go down. I mean, what we tapped on the Fibonacci level perfectly for Crow. I mean, for Apecoin. Maybe over the next few weeks, 7 might come all the way back down to 350 if things get really bad for it. Gala over here at support. Oh, that was just a box that we drew. Gala may come down to oh yeah, it can come down to 4 or 5 cents. Yeah. Anything else here I really need to pay attention to? No. Excuse me. Luna's still looking rough. It had that really high day a few days ago, and it's just been still coming down slowly. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. That might make everything a little bit easier. There you go. Still coming down here, having some small sell-offs. We'll see if it'll have a big pop up here sometime this week, but it seems like this is slowly getting drained back down here a little bit. Most people are just buying and holding, and that's probably what is probably the best thing you can do here. You're just gonna be patiently waiting until some big news comes out, and then pop, you make some money. You can choose to sell at that time or to hold more, but it's up to you guys. You guys have to have a plan if you guys are hopping into something this crazy. I have some Luna here, but I'm holding for like 5 years or until the next big rally here and seeing what goes on with it. But I have not been keeping up with the news, so there might be some news out there that, hey, maybe they're getting rid of the traditional Luna, and maybe they're making a new coin or something like that. I don't know. But the volatility that we were looking at over here, the big moves, they have really slowed down a little bit because everybody that bought way down here, they've definitely come down here a little bit more as well. All right, back over here. Actually, let's go to this one. Oh, okay, that was that one. All right. Move some of these extra moving averages I don't need right now. The 200 on the 100. This is the 4. And if you guys are looking at the chart that we were looking at the other day here, we had an opportunity to kind of maybe have a short-term reversal here, but that rising wedge here, or just a channel, if you will, depending on which way you want to look at it, we broke down from it, and now we're just kind of settling at support. And that support's going to be a pain for us for a little bit here. If you just want to rip the bandit off and come down right there, bouncing off a little bit. I tried to look at it earlier to see if we can make some type of pattern out of this, because right now we no longer really need this or this. I'm mostly just using this as a little bit of a channel zone right here. Ever since May 10th, just going sideways here. If we break down below out of this channel right here, or probably even lower than that, something like that, that's where you can see things get really rough. But right now, as far as the body candles are concerned, you know how I feel about body candles. We're pretty much right here at the support level of about 28,600. If we really start to close below those levels, that's where you might start to see an aggressive move downward by shorts and people just panicking and selling again, kind of similar to what we saw about a week ago. All right. But hopefully, as far as this day candle is concerned, guys, or this day chart's concerned, usually when the market falls down like 1,000 points in the day, we usually don't do another 1,000 point day the next day. So we may either get choppy here for like maybe 1 or 2 days, or we may have a good like 400 point rebound day here as everybody scrambles to buy up everything that really crashed yesterday. You got to flip a coin for that one. Either way, Bitcoin is probably going to go choppy or a little bit up tomorrow, so that's going to be something to watch. If there's more bad news that comes out, whatever that may be, I don't know if there's any economic data coming out this week, but if there is, and it's bad, then, history will kind of throw out the norms, and then we might have another big tank tomorrow. And by tank, I mean like a down 1,000 points plus on Bitcoin side as well. Back to the 15. Probably, actually, I want to look at Ethereum on this side and Bitcoin on this side. That works out. There you go. See Ethereum on the 15, barely holding above that Fibonacci level right there. Just barely trying to hold that sucker down. All right. Oh, what's right here? And hey, Doge Mesh, thoughts on AMC? As far as AMC, GameStop, and all those types of stocks, the meme stocks, I would only ever like to day trade them. I personally don't want to hold them for the long term because they're definitely overvalued stocks. Personally, I would just day trade them and try to have some fun with them. But they're too risky for me to really want to bet big money into those projects because most people that bet into those projects usually lose a penny unless they're kind of in and out for like a day trade, right? But as far as swing trading, it's a little too risky for me. But definitely fun for day trading, especially with options. Let's see. And hey, Justin, the government does a poor job on everything right now, Mike. I know. But, well, yeah. I just know. See, guys, I live in Washington State. I really don't ever pay attention to the politics of Washington, D.C. besides what I see on CNBC, right? That CNBC is where I get all my political news, basically, because I just don't care. I watch a little bit of Fox, I watch a little bit of CNN, I watch a little bit of MSNBC. They're all kind of crackpotty networks to me. They all kind of have weird people on them. Some are more entertaining than others, I would say, definitely. But they all just seem like my time is too valuable to be spent watching news. That's how I always feel, unless it's financial news like CNBC. But even with CNBC, yeah, there definitely seems to be some bad stuff happening right now in the country from an economic standpoint and abroad. I get you that one for sure. Um, and hey, discount code. This is the time fortunes will be made. Let's keep dropping so I can keep buying. Well, yeah, I mean, guys, right now there's like two different fortunes being made right now. There's a fortune being made by people that are shorting this market down as much as they can. They're making a killing right now for all these gains here, right? And then the other fortune is going to be made is the longer term fortune. You know, you buy low and during the capitulation cycle, and then from there you just kind of hold on for a while, then give it a few months to a year, and when Bitcoin reaches all time highs again, oh booyah! Then you're looking at really really good profits there. Whether you bought Bitcoin yourself, Ethereum, altcoins, whatever, you're going to be making some really really good money. It's just up to you guys to be able to hold through all the craziness that's going to happen because, you know, people understand this cycle a little bit more than they used to. And so now what these whales have to do to kind of get as more coins, you know, as much as they want, they have to really shake people out over and over and over again. And that means you buy and they're just going to try to wring you out over and over again to you know, make you sell because they're gonna try to make you panic, and then as soon as you sell, you have that, you know, cliche of, man, as soon as I sell, then it starts going up, right? Shake out every single time. Then you ease the shortage. I'm hungry. Well, guys, remember we haven't even hit the famine side of things yet, as far as how bad the economy is doing. If there's a famine, it's gonna hurt people quite a bit even more, right? So far, we're fine. I've seen the cost of goods is going up, but we haven't had too much of a famine unless you're talking about the baby food. But that was more of a domestic mistake by the bureaucracy, a really really bad one. Not so much of a supply chain issue crisis, if you understand what I'm saying. So that was a 100% bureaucracy made disaster there with the baby formula shortage, which is why I don't like bureaucracies. Bureaucracies have a bad habit of keeping people on that deserve to be fired because they have different rules. And so the market doesn't work as well. Let's see. Hey, Brandon, except being a criminal who committed abuse of power. Oh, oh man. Okay, you guys get into politics. I'm not going to go into the political questions. And hey, Justin, can't wait for the tank baby fish. Got the ammo ready. I know a lot of you guys are just waiting patiently for these a big move down in the market. I have shorts open right now, and until yesterday, those shorts were actually negative for me. Yesterday, all the altcoins really dropped down really nicely, and that's when my money started to be printed here. So that's really good to see as well. But yeah, we've really been in a choppy little market here for the past few days. I want to see us break this cycle, either go up or down. I don't care, preferably down, so we can just really get this thing over with. But you know how it is. Bitcoin's following the Nasdaq right now, and it's annoying at the at the best here. But we have a new day here. We'll see which way we go down, which way we go. Most likely down here, probably. But the big move will probably happen sometime tomorrow once the stock market's kind of open. Right now, Bitcoin's only up about $168, and it's been about an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half since the market opened. So not really much has been going on. I think what we're waiting for now is for Ethereum to decide, hey, let's break down here. If you look at it, we had a little baby double top right here. You can take a short right now, and then maybe that's what really leads us down. Who knows? But at this point in time, Ethereum really is just holding above its key Fibonacci level. And again, this isn't a small Fibonacci level that Ethereum is holding. This Fibonacci level goes from the all-time highs of Ethereum back over here, right? Back over here, all the way to the lows of 2020. So this has been a Fibonacci level that's using about 609 days of information. There's a good amount of support there. And it's actually not 100% locked in here, though, but that's fine. I should probably draw this down to this price. I don't know why it always does that. There you go. Oh, so a little bit further away from it. Here. Let me double check that this is why you guys need to use magnets. Okay. 5. Okay, so we're a little bit above. We're a little bit off of it here. A little bit off of it if you go do the magnet test. So not as bad, not as dire straits, but still pretty bad, pretty bearish, I guess you would say. But yeah, that's what we're waiting for right now. We'll see if we actually break down below it today, or if we can manage to kind of hold a little bit longer and try to grind our way back up. But as soon as the market opens, guys, that's really going to be the direction we go for it, which has been making my job a little bit more interesting because then we take a little bit more look at the SPY, NASDAQ, and the Dow. You know, this is the daily chart for all of them. You know, none of them look particularly good no matter how you stretch it here. One of the interesting things here, I was looking at a few of these charts today. Let's just go over to the Dow first. You know, the 20-day moving average is getting here a little bit closely. There's still an opportunity for us to have another type of maybe another rally here eventually. But if you look at this, you know, we've had a few of these bear market rallies over here for the past few months. Basically, you know, we're headed down. We come back up a little bit. We have some type of nasty pattern or whatever, and then we come back down. Consolidate, another bear market rally. Consolidate, come back down. Now we've had a baby one over the past few weeks. We've just had these baby moves and then coming back down heavy. We just had a few good days last week, and now we just had a really bad day this week. The market definitely still wants to come down here way, way more. But at least like the rallies have really shortened here a little bit. And here's what I mean by that. This rally over here from the bottom to the top was about 8% for the Dow, not bad. Over here, this one was about 9.5%. As you get to these really short ones going over here now, you have this one right here, back about 5%. This one right here, about 4.73. So it's getting a little bit easier every single time. The thing that I'm waiting for, slowly waiting for this to happen, is I want us to get back above the 20-day moving average. If we get above the 20-day moving average, we should be able to have a nice 1 or 2 days of popping. It really depends if we can really hold it. In this circumstance, we were not able to hold it at all. In this circumstance, we were able to hold it pretty well. So I'm betting we're going to have more of this type of thing going on just because people are looking for a reason to buy. And every single day I'm looking at CNBC and I'm listening to these hedge fund managers like, we want to see good market conditions before we actually buy back in. We want to see some good technicals. And a good technical right now is not to buy until you see some type of really good sign. That could be a golden cross. That could be whatever. Bounce off the fib levels, whatever it may be. That's what everybody's waiting for. And if you take a quick little peek here at the Dow on the weekly chart, you know, just like Bitcoin, we're pretty far away from our 20-week moving average. We're down by a lot. And the Dow, the 200 weekly moving average is way, way down here, kind of close to this old level of, I don't know, somewhere this kind of a box of resist, a box of support, if you will. But yeah, just looking nasty right now. I do want to do one thing here just to see if I can find any similarities. This is from the COVID lows. We found a little bit of support right here on the monthly chart, but that was also the 20-month moving average. The weekly chart held it once, 2, 3 times before ultimately breaking down. Multiple taps usually has to break down below fib. On the daily here, we held it for a while. Like I said, we held it, then we crashed. And now that Fibonacci was kind of a level of resistance for us, actually. But the next level of support, according to the Fibonacci's using the 2020 lows of the COVID crisis, is going to be down here at 29,815. And that's not too far away. And that kind of vibes with what we're seeing here with crypto as well, right? Crypto, the Dow doesn't go down nearly, most of the time, doesn't go down nearly as much as Bitcoin. Although this year there's been some stocks going down even more than Bitcoin overall, right? All right, but you can find a lot of the same similarities here with the S&P and the NASDAQ, all having some really rough times. If you guys use the COVID lows and just go to the highs that we saw a while ago, you're usually going to find some strong level of support here. This one right here, see, we held until we didn't, and then we kept on coming down. As far as the S&P, we're finding support here pretty soon, another 10, 11 points, and we're at a Fibonacci level. And then, of course, if we break down below that one, that's what, I mean... You know what? Maybe capitulation happens after we break down below some of these Fibonacci levels. I'm not sure. Every day we just seem to have more and more bad news coming out about the market, and so it kind of makes me think, well, things can get a lot worse in the market. The stocks can go down even more. The stock can go down a lot more, right? But you're starting to see things get hit really hard. And the last one over here, this is the NASDAQ. This is the one Bitcoin's been following for quite a while here. Let me just go over to the weekly chart. NASDAQ has been much more aggressive on the downside here. Let me drag this down here. There we go. Found support, got choppy with it, got knocked down, found another level of support, still falling down, found another level of support here, still coming down. Yeah, so maybe we do have to break down below the Fibonacci level on some of these indexes. Just my opinion, looks like we might have to, but we'll see. and that means the Nasdaq may go all the way down to 10,500 before all this is over. That's a big drop there. Maybe just more around the 200 weekly moving average. It seems like everything, they're just heading for their 200 weekly moving averages, and they're all so far away from the weekly moving averages over here that usually give them big boosts of support. If they break above them, boom, break back above that one, nice little move. Break above this one, small move, kind of got more choppy here. Break above that one, nice move. Where's the 50 at? Break above the 50, kind of got choppy. They eventually had a nice move here. So I like to see those types of things, because you put this all into perspective, you can see we can definitely come down more, especially if it's not the prevailing theory out there in the market, guys, but a lot of people are thinking that, hey, this may be something like the dot-com bubble where there's just too much money in the market and people are going to pull out a lot more money than people think, and you may see some major crashes of certain securities. I don't really know what those securities would be. Probably more of those kind of excess things that people have overvalued over the past few years. But overall, we're just, the economy's not doing good, and you're really seeing the market completely understand that at this point. That's what we talked about the article 10, 15 minutes ago. All right. Oh, now stuff is starting to turn into the negative here just a tad. Let's see. Hey, Starscream, do I think Tether can depeg? Tether already depegged once, so I know it can depeg again. Yes, it's unfortunate, but yeah, Tether depegged, I think it was like a few days ago. It got back on track, but it did depeg here. Let me see if I can show that to you. What's another chart that I can use? Another layout. Unnamed. I can go to this phantom one. And USTD to USD. That should be fine. All right, so here's a 15-minute chart of Tether. It usually trades within this range. It can go a little bit higher, a little bit below. This is all kind of within. This is like $1 is right here. Okay, so it's kind of on the area, and you can see a few days ago it dropped all the way down here to about 94 cents. So yes, Tether can depeg. It did it just a few days ago. Now, it was not nearly as drastic as UST, because they have a whole different safety mechanism in place of what protects you a USTD. So I trust Tether a lot more than I would have trusted UST. A lot more, okay? I have all of my capital in Tether, right? So, I understand that. I saw it. I was concerned for a second. I was like, okay, they have a whole different system. I'll be fine with it. But if for whatever reason stuff looked really bad, I probably wouldn't move stuff out of my bank account or back into my bank account or anything like that. I'd probably just put that money into crypto or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm at this moment I'm fine with Tether. It had one dip and it got fixed back up. But yes, Tether can depeg here. It can, right? Here's an hour chart. It got down to 99 cents right here. So this is kind of the normal range. It's okay to get down to 99 cents because it's still within a range of, within a penny of a dollar. But yeah, this week, let's go to the weekly chart, right? Even this right here is at 98.6, so like a little teeny bit below 99 cents. This is the one that kind of was more concerning this week. And I think that's just because everybody's a little bit afraid because of what's been going on with UST. They had a little bit of a run on their bank of their own, but they were able to handle it, refund the Tether market cap, and everything just kept on going around smoothly. But yes, Tether can depeg. It already has just a few days ago. And hey, Brian, happy to see you. And hey, Jesse, whales don't shake people out. Market makers do. Same thing. What do you call it? My main point is we're going to be shaken out, okay? We're going to be shaken out multiple times over the next few weeks. And I think you're going to see people really try to, well, I would disagree a little bit. But yeah, I would say there's going to be whales really trying to short people out. They do a really good job at it, especially during those crucial moments. There's been a whole bunch of fake outs, and every single time we get faked out, they really get people going really, really good there. They're coming tonight. Oh, geez, I hope not. Well, actually, I don't care. I kind of want to get this bear market over with so we can go back and enjoy the good times here, right? The good times. But we're kind of tied to the Nasdaq right now. So any big moves that come with Bitcoin, they usually been happening off of bad days in the stock market, like we're having today. So we can definitely continue this bad move, or they've been happening on the weekend when the market's been closed, and that's been crucial for everybody that wants to be trading because. Everybody's kind of free on the weekend for the majority of people don't work on the weekends, so you can spend all day in front of the computers looking at your charts. And you can watch all the carnage happen live. There you go. Loki's over here now. There you go. What do you think Robinhood Web3 crypto wallet in it with NFT? I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of Robinhood too much since I bought some more shares the other day. I'm sure Robinhood's going to be fine. I don't use Robinhood. I'm never going to use Robinhood. I just use them every once in a while for like tickers and stuff for you guys as far as my streams. But I don't like the product that Robinhood gives out because it doesn't meet my needs as an investor. It's kind of like a beginner's guide to investing. There comes a point where you're no longer a basic trader. You want to start learning how to read charts while actually trading at the same time. You want to be able to do all this extra stuff. Look at level 2 data, option flow data, all this type of stuff that'll help you out. And why would you pay for it on Robinhood when you can just get it for free off of TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, whatever. And as far as crypto, they don't have enough crypto coins to really make me happy to go use their exchanges, right? Just between BitGet and KuCoin and Binance US and even FTX, if you want to add in there, there's hundreds and hundreds of coins that I could buy there. I think there's only like 2 handfuls maybe of coins I can buy in Robinhood. That's it. Like here, two handfuls. Not really much I could buy on there. And the stuff that I can buy on there, as far as projects wise, that none of the projects, on the low market cap side, really make me excited to buy them. I would only buy them because they're on Robinhood, not because they're actually doing something very useful. So, if in the next few weeks they start adding more and more coins here, Robinhood does, then yes, I would probably buy some coins, but only because they have a low market cap and hopefully a very cheap price, under a penny, preferably under 0.00 something, then I'd be happy to buy them. But that's only because I'd be holding them until the altcoin season happened, and then I would assume because they're on Robinhood, they have a very cheap price, and a lot of new investors that kind of hop on during those FOMO periods of time, they're not going to understand how the market cap works, and so all that money is just going to go flooding into those cheap coins because nobody knows how to really trade them. And then if you buy in like now when the market just looks like complete dog, what, then you'll be able to make a lot of money off it, but you're going to have to sit on that investment for a while. But again, if those small investments do go parabolic, it won't take too much money to make a lot of money, right? But it's really going to be a YOLO at that point. It's rare that we have these big mega moves in the crypto market like that become like a nationwide phenomenon where everybody knows about it. It's rare. We can have it again, but it doesn't just happen like week after week after week after week, right? It usually happens within all that altcoin season or towards the end of an altcoin season, or in a bull market. Let's just say it happens in a bull market. We are not in a bull market right now. We are in a bear market. I'm still seeing tons of people on TikTok, whole bunch of people on Twitter still saying it's a bull market right now, and I'm just like, what are you people saying right now? People are still saying we're gonna pop up every single time, and I'm just like, I think people that even their followers are starting to get annoyed with them, and they're starting to slow it down on how bullish they are. They're just saying, hey, maybe we can pop up from here, maybe, instead of saying we are. Now they're saying maybe because they've been wrong for like 50 times in a row at this point. Oh, what's up here? And hey, Tony, USDC. I do like USDC. All of my money in Voyager is in USDC just because it's a great. Well, the cash form of it, because it has really good interest rates, on 9% interest rate on Voyager. Really, really nice. Let's see. So here. And hey, Josh, the last drop was between 12 and 4 a.m. And when everybody's sleeping, so everybody wakes up and panics and starts selling out of Tether. And hey, Jay, Robinhood has no interest on crypto. Yeah, I got an email the other day saying Robinhood was going to start offering like 1% interest on your dollar assets as they kind of sit in the bank, so to speak. And I was like, $1, 1%. Wow. I was like, wow. Because in crypto, they give you some really good rates because they want your income, they want your capital, right? And I think as long as it's nothing too crazy, I think they're able to do it. But Robinhood just giving you like 1%, Nobody's going to be excited about 1% interest rates. Nobody's going to be excited about that at all. If you guys are excited, let me know. But, I'm more excited about Voyager at 9%. Other exchanges like a 3%, 4%. You even see KuCoin gives you the ability to loan out your capital to other people with interest rates that way. So, they're going to have to do better than that. But remember, at the end of the day, there's only so much an app can do. What Robinhood could do if they were smart is build up their infrastructure a little bit more, invest in that, and start making their product look a little bit more like a modern TD Ameritrade, kind of maybe a more elegant E-Trade or maybe a more elegant Fidelity, because you guys know TD Ameritrade is what I use. It looks completely old school. Everything about it looks old school. But I learned how to use it a while ago before these other products really became more fancy themselves. But if you guys go over here and look at TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. So Thinkorswim desktop here. It's not going to look that big for you guys anyway, but you guys can see it still looks pretty old school here. I like being able to watch CNBC while I'm actively trading. That's really nice to see. I can kind of look at what the market conditions, if there's any big economic data coming out, I can see it live on the screen. I can click on it and just take me to a link directly to the website that shows the data. It's really, really nice. But, it looks really old school. Well, Robinhood, maybe they can go with the Fidelity model, Fidelity trading, or not Fidelity, Fidelity investments, open a broker account. They always look really old on their main pages. I think that's just because of how they do it. But we don't want active trader. We can just go to trade. I think that might show us something. No, I'm not going to log into this. Is there any? Fine. Fidelity. Images. Looks a little bit better. Not really crazy good. But again, looks a little bit better. All right. And the other one is E-Trade. E-Trade has a lot of funny commercials, but I've never actually used E-Trade, but I've heard really good things about it. This one as well kind of looks kind of older, right? Kind of older. If Robinhood or Webull can really make a good modern platform, they could be huge. But it seems like that's not really where their interest lies. They don't want to make a software for it. And, they're going to have to learn how to adapt, because the way Robinhood works, in my opinion, is a new investor sees a big coin in a very bull market, or a big coin or big stock going up a lot, and they feel like they can make a lot of money easy and quickly, and they want to start learning how to invest. They don't start off wanting to do something risky, but then like, oh man, this can make me a lot of money really fast. Maybe I should just hold off on actually trying to learn how to invest, right? From there, they make the few trades on the platform, on a Robinhood, whatever, and then maybe they lose some money, maybe they make some money, but they keep on trying for a few more months until they eventually run out of whatever money is in their portfolio, okay? And then maybe they come back and put more money in it down the road, but eventually they just kind of give up because that's not the platform that's really going to be good for them. A few stay, but the majority just kind of have high turnover, if you get what I'm saying. After that, then they start getting more serious about it, if they even want to keep on continuing on the actual investment trade, because it is so difficult. Then what you see them do is they go over, well, it kind of depends from there, but they'll try another platform. That could be a Webull or another platform. Maybe they start looking more at charts and stuff like that. Like maybe they use Robinhood and they use TradingView kind of side by side, and to make things a little bit easier for them. Okay, now I can buy this, without having to use the charts on Robinhood, because they suck so much. And then eventually, if they really do start to make a profit off of it, most of the time what they do is they move over somewhere else where they can do all that stuff in one spot. That's usually a TD Ameritrade, an E-Trade, a Fidelity. Maybe they just move over to Webull, because Webull has the charting on the app. People tend to just move on over time, because the product itself that Robinhood gives you, it's okay. It's not good. It's not great. If you want good, you got to pay for it. But guess what? Everybody else gives you for free what Robinhood charges you like $5 a month for, right? So people eventually just say, well, if I can save a few, like $100 or so, if I could save $60 a year by not paying for Robinhood Gold and just going over to TD Ameritrade, if you only have a few bucks and you're just trying to invest the slow way while you have a full-time job supporting a family, that $60 will mean something to you down the road. So people got to think about it in different ways. an easy way to think about it in this case is if you don't pay for Robinhood Gold, you save that money and you open up a TD Ameritrade account, right? And you're able to do all the chart stuff in there. You're saving $60. But let's say you don't like TD Ameritrade, or you don't like Fidelity's charting software, you don't like what's the other charting software? E-Trade's trading software. Well, then, guys, you guys could just put that $60 and buy a whole year's worth of TradingView, which looks more modern, more sleek, and more nice. This TradingView is so modern in some respects that most exchanges use TradingView charts, right? So Robinhood will be able to Robinhood will do well in the long term, but in the short term, I still have the same sentiment. They need to fire their current CEO and get somebody that actually understands this market properly to really make the changes that consumers will like, that consumers will actually appreciate, and they will be able to flock back into Robinhood. But right now, it's rare to find somebody that's full-time investor going and working on Robinhood. And therefore, whenever people go online and they try to learn from somebody like, if you guys are trying to learn from me, or you guys are trying to learn from any crypto guy or any stock guy on YouTube, it's rare that they're going to be really advising you to trade on Robinhood unless they're really trying to, they're really specifically trying to help out the guys that are just learning what a stock is, what a chart is, what an RSI is, what a MACD is, what is buying, what is bid, what is ask. That level of education in the stock market is what you're going to be getting taught if you really trying to learn about using Robinhood, if you get what I'm saying. You can still use Robinhood, I'm not bad with it, but when you try to make that next move up, you got to have ambition to move away from Robinhood down the road, unless they make it better in the future, which maybe they can, maybe they can, maybe they can. What's right here? Um, and hey, Justin, Ethereum just shorted 4.2 million. Oh, that's good. I mean, you're seeing everything come down here a little bit right now. Ethereum still has a little bit way to go from that Fibonacci level. We are close here. We are close, but well, let me see. Little baby pump. We're about $35 away. Not much for Ethereum. They're $35 away from that support level over there. We'll see what happens when we come in contact with it, though. And Halo Escator, 1% is better than your worthless bank account. I feel like my bank account is safer than Robinhood, and I'm willing to give up 1% for that safety of my bank account. I never feel like my bank account is actually safe when I'm on Robinhood. I remember having a Robinhood debit card a long time ago, and I had signed up for it. I never used it. I didn't have any money in my account. I didn't have any money in my Robinhood account, and I'm surprised they sent me one. And so I had it in my bedroom for like 2 months, something like that. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I had a random charge on my Robinhood card, and my card was never left my room. And so I was like, this is kind of weird. Now, I never looked into it because, again, there was no money in my Robinhood account. But I was just like, come on, now, I don't like that. Meanwhile, I bank with Chase. I have another account with Wells Fargo. They're both fine. I don't like Wells Fargo as much, but I don't deal with them too much as far as cash deposit accounts. But I'm whenever I have a problem with them or a problem with my money in those accounts, they fix it like that, no questions asked. I've never had a problem, and I don't have to deal with Robinhood support in order to get the problem fixed. It's rare that I ever have problems with my cards. I went to I remember my friends came over from Philadelphia to England for one of my for a bachelor party for my friend, and they came over here to Washington, right? And we went out to a middle of nowhere Airbnb just to kind of get out in nature, go on hikes, and just kind of have a bunch of fun. Well, we went to one of those random sketchy gas station stops that has a gas station, a random shop next to it, and then a bar next to that, and then a pizza shop next to that. It's that's the whole town right there is those 4 buildings, and then there's just a whole bunch of houses around. Well, we swiped our cards, all of us, on the machine there, and all of us all had fraud on our accounts within 24 hours. Right? And so we all had to drive back into the major cities. So we had cell reception. We all called our credit card providers and our card providers, and we just told them what happened. No problem whatsoever. I'm okay with the bank not giving me that much money because I know the bar for a bank is extremely low. The bar for a bank is extremely low. All they do is hold my cash. I'm fine with that. I just want to have money to spend on stuff that I like going out to get dinner, buying presents for people, whatever, investing, whatever, right? And hey, D's, happy to see you back, my man. Right here. And hey, D's, yes, I did get my other channel back. Let me give you a wrench for this channel as well. There we go. But I did get the channel back, guys. Yeah. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, yeah, I got the channel back. I know some people were kind of going back and forth between this channel and the other one. I did get this channel officially back. I got a sorry letter from YouTube saying they're sorry and they apologized. So I was like, yeah. It didn't really mean much to me, but I'm so happy that they took the time to say they're sorry. I need that. What's right there? And hey, Justin, Jack and Jill went up the hill both with $100.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh man. But yeah, guys, we're kind of in this weird spot in the market where we're not going down really, really fast, really aggressively at this point. We're kind of just going down bit by bit by bit, and I'm okay with that right now. We'll probably have another really, really bad day in the crypto market here pretty soon. But until that happens, kind of, enjoy your time day trading. Understand we are still in this very bearish market conditions. I wish I had better news for you on that front. But, we've been talking about this for months now. And now that it's finally happened, this is really the easy part where we're just slowly buying up stuff. We're closing short positions. We're opening new short positions. We're having a lot of fun with the market. This is, we've been talking about this for so long, and now that we're here, it's just kind of time to execute you guys' individual trading strategies here. Your plan, excuse me. The one thing that we will be paying attention to later on this month is later on this week, we are going to have more earnings coming out this week. I don't know if I can find out actually how to by day. Oh, well, that's nice about earnings. All right. Will that work? Let me see. No, that's not it. Market Insider. There's usually that thing that I always see. It's like a perfect portrait of earnings. Well, let's see. Today's 5/19. Tomorrow. Wait, is today the 19th? I feel like today's the 18th, right? Yeah, today's the 18th. Okay, that threw me for a loop today. All right, so we're gonna go to today. Okay, so what we're gonna have tomorrow is Home Depot, AT&T, Net Energy. Is it really today? 19. Okay, yeah, sure. AT&T, Next Extra Energy, AIA Group, Applied Materials, Atria, Chubb, Marsh and McLennan. So a few here, not really much. Large cap is what we probably care about the most. Is this thing even filtering out anything? Oh, I see. Okay, it scrolls down. Okay. Oh, I see right there. Okay. Sorry, guys. Ross stores, Yum brands. Yum is a big one. China Telecom Corp. So, there's a lot of earnings coming out tomorrow. A lot. And we'll see if they're good. We may have something good. Oh, wait. What's right here? Did I see JetBlue? JetBlue Airways. Yeah. So, what do you call oh, no, this is annual general meeting. Why would they just not? So, this is annual general meetings and earnings? All right, never mind. I'm not using this one ever again. Market Insider's trash. Yahoo. Okay, here we go. At least, yeah, May 19th. There we go. 48 earnings. Apollo Alto Networks, Apollo Investment. So we got a bunch. BJ's Wholesale Club Holdings, Applied Materials. Talked about that one. Hamilton Thorne, No Inc. Monroe. So we got some stuff here. Next Gen Minerals. We got a little bit. Neo. That's interesting. That's probably going to go down quite a bit though. Kohl's is going to be before open. So I think Kohl's is going to be one of those things that really tells the market which way everybody's going. We'll see if it's really bad or if they're going to have similar news to what Target had. Like Target dropped down like 26% today. On the other hand, guys, what was the other one that we were paying attention to here? Target was bad. TJ Maxx did great because everybody goes to TJ Maxx for bargains. I think every girlfriend I've ever had, they've wanted to go to Ross or TJ Maxx because it has cheaper prices. And then when they get their paycheck, that's when they go to Target. But in between those paychecks, they're going to Ross and Kohl's, TJ Maxx. So we'll see how those companies do. If it's more like a TJ Maxx or if it's more like a Target, will be interesting to see how that turns out. No, so here. Thought on the crypto if a recession hits. Hey Alex, so right now if a recession hits, you gotta think about it like this. Like right now, I think the market is pricing in a recession. Alright? So if we do really have a really bad recession, I think Bitcoin can go down to maybe the 200 weekly moving average before that happens. Maybe even below that. Maybe even as low as like $16,000 if like there was a real panic on the market. I can see it's going down like that low. Okay. Um, and what would kind of tell me that's happening, because I don't think it would happen like all at really like once like that, unless the stock market really just went complete like scorched earth. Let's just like sell out of everything, like beyond just one day of capitulation. I'm talking like a month of capitulation, pure capitulation. Um, I think what you would probably see happen there in that scenario is you might see a death cross on the weekly chart between the 20-week moving average and the 200 weekly moving average. And by that I mean, we got these here. Okay. Pop this open. Let's go over here to Coinbase, Bitcoin. Ah, there you go. I need to turn log on. There we go. So if that was to happen, I think the 20 would pop most likely cross down below the 200 here. The 20 is practically just screaming down here at this moment. So let me see if I can show you what that looks like. So coming down here like pretty aggressively. From week to week, let me see if I can find this exact moment here. So within a week, the 20-week moving average came down about 2.34%, or about 950 points, 940 points, okay? So 940 came down in 1 week. How far is the 200 weekly moving average coming up per week, okay? 940 going down. Excuse me. And we went from 940 going down here to 107 going up. So you're really seeing that thing really scream down. Meanwhile, the 200 is like slowly leveling off here, like slowly, still coming up. But the main reason is you guys know how moving averages work. The 200 simple, it's taking all 200 of the previous candles, weighing them equally, and then drawing a line, kind of plotting what the market is saying there. So we have, let's just go from here. There you go. This week's 200 moving average to use all of those 200 weekly candle bars, okay? 200. Quite a bit there. And as time goes on, you know, this one gets lost, so we lose a number on that value chart that kind of goes into the 200 weekly moving average. We lose a candle bar that was at about $6,565, 6,500-ish, and then we replace it with a candle bar that's all the way up here at about 27,000. Even though we're still coming down, 27,000 is still a lot higher than about 6,500, right? And so you will eventually see the 200 actually creep up even higher, and that may lead us to a moment where see how when we capitulate most of the time, not the COVID capitulation, but other capitulations, we came pretty close to having that death cross, pretty darn close. We came pretty darn close to having a death cross this time as well. So I'm still buying around the 200 weekly moving average, of course, even if we go down below it. But since this is Bitcoin's first real recession, there is a chance that we have a death cross on the weekly charts. And I could see that's bringing us back down here to about, $16,000, $17,000. Maybe, yeah, I don't know how, I don't think the current institutions will let Bitcoin get down that low, because they themselves want to buy a bunch of it as well. I don't care what Warren Buffett says. People still want Bitcoin, right? But yeah, if a recession gets really, really bad and it led to some type of really, really extremely nasty move in the market, I think Bitcoin can go all the way down to $16,000, and then that would be preceded or followed by a death cross between the 20-week moving average going down below the 200 weekly moving average. Because every time we have these big moves, we come very, very close. I mean, very, very close each time. Come very, very close. This time right now, kind of, we are playing a different game right now, because we do have inflation, and we do have, a recession kind of looming here to really scare everybody into not buying products. And there we go. And Hades, even if the U.S. goes into a recession, it will hold. I mean, the U.S. economy is quite strong. Oh yeah, that's true. My thing is, so at this point in time, we have inflation, but the thing that's been kind of creeping up in the backworks, and like it's just being talked about more and more right now, which is kind of interesting, is there's a chance that the national gas price average for the U.S. will hit around $6 or so. So imagine if getting like this isn't California, this is where I live, Washington, where gas is high already because we have like 50 cent gas taxes and stuff. Not that like in the middle of the country, gas gets more expensive. The national average for the whole country would be about $6 or so. Now, I'm not saying Texas is going to have $6 gas prices. They may have it cheaper than everybody else, but the national average will be extremely high. And what does that mean when a parent can no longer afford to take their kid to school? What does that mean when an employee can no longer afford to drive themselves to work? What does that mean? That's where we're headed if the gas gets that expensive. The whole system gets, like crunched up. We normally don't have to deal with these problems. Yeah, so like you might have carpools and stuff like that happening more and more. But man, people are going to be ticked off. We may have riots. There may be really bad stuff going on. You guys forget, after the 2008 financial crisis, we had the riots of like we had riots all over the place. What else do we have? Oh man, what do we have? Uh, Tents on Wall Street, something on Wall Street, sit on Wall Street, rail against Wall Street. Some type of anti-Wall Street movement that really got a lot of people really riled up because everybody was pissed off at the bailouts of the Bush and Obama administrations, like all the bailouts, all the rich people getting more money. Everybody was just pissed off and ticked off about everything. I don't think it's gonna get that bad, but if gas gets high, oh yeah, it'll wreck a lot of people. Got to think about poor people will be hit hardest, and then those are the people that usually are kind of forgotten by politicians. And then when the middle class starts getting really hit, maybe they'll start to do a little bit more. But overall, what kind of something bad could definitely happen if gas gets up that high. But that's if it gets up that high. Occupy Wall Street. Occupy. Okay, see, it was so simple, but I don't remember the names of riots unless they happen right in my backyard. Again, that's Washington. Or that's New York. All the way. I live in Washington State. The only real riot I kind of remember around here is the Chaz riots of a couple years ago. Those were wild. And Michael, what you think about Doge in the next year? I think Doge will probably come up a little bit, pretty stagnant. I think you're going to see a lot of people loading up on Doge at these lower prices if we go down to like maybe 4 cents or so. And then after that, it'll probably come up steadily. I think what may happen is you'll see Doge come up. You'll probably see a bunch of other coins come up a little bit faster than Doge. And then one day Dogecoin will just kind of pop up out of nowhere. And then they'll be like, oh my God, let's now we got to get into it, that type of effect. Just because Doge has been a little bit more unorthodox than other coins, just because of how it kind of had its own story of 2021. And the same thing, I think, with Sheeb, although I think Sheeb may come up a little bit faster than other coins as well. I think Sheeb may have a better rebound, but not a better all-time high situation than Dogecoin. But, yeah, it'll do fine during this next year, along with other stuff. I don't know if it's going to come up as much, though, just because, well, a few things. It has such a high market cap that it is going to take time for that money to kind of rejuvenate in Dogecoin. But, it depends on how much money people really have to be investing after this bear market is over, right? Just because the market is going up doesn't mean that people have the money to really be going back and investing in Doge, Sheeb, all the meme coins and stuff like that. It's going to be hard for them to, man, I can barely afford bread, but I got $10 for Dogecoin. It's going to be hard for people to make that type of thought process. Occupy Bitcoin. Oh, man. Let's see. And hey, D's, you're accumulating more coins? Oh, dude, everybody should be accumulating more coins during this time. Just because, of how crazy everything is in the world and how cheap everything is, I guess you could say as well. Everything's coming down here a little bit more, though. Man is down below 99, below $1 again. My short there is doing fine. FTM is now down below 32 cents. That's nice. STMX is down about 4%. Everything's at about 1 or 2% right now. Bitcoin's not even red yet. Bitcoin is still up a little bit. Surprised people are already selling off of this stuff. But let me go over here very fast and say gas price I think it was $6 I heard. Let me see. Oh, so gas prices will surpass $6 nationwide by August, JP Morgan says. So yeah, JP Morgan warns California. So JP, okay, whatever. That's a no. That's a no. CNN, you gonna do it too? Do they use the same picture? Oh, I guess it must be the same. Yeah. Okay. The average price for gasoline in California hit $6 a gallon Tuesday for the first time, and analysts at J.P. Morgan are warning that the price of gas could be that price could be the national average before the end of summer. The startling forecast comes as U.S. gas prices have surged to record highs in the aftermath of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, casting a shadow over the economy. There's a real risk of the price could reach $6 plus a gallon by August. Natasha Kaneva, head of global oil and commodities research at J.P. Morgan, told CNN in an email on Tuesday. With U.S. gasoline and inventory sitting at the lowest level since 2019, J.P. Morgan is concerned it will be difficult to satisfy the intense demand during the summer's driving season. With expectations of strong driving demand, U.S. retail prices could surge another 37% by August. J.P. Morgan wrote in his report, fittingly titled "Cruel Summer." Okay, so I think particularly in August it could be bad because August is college season. And I mean, college season is basically where you see all the parents drive with their kids to go drop them off at college. So you have a whole bunch of road trips. All the hotels are always booked in August, no matter where you freaking go. So it could be really, really bad. But it'll most likely continue getting worse and worse and worse over the next few months here. Remember, just because they're pumping more oil doesn't mean they're refining more oil into gasoline. The news doesn't really talk about that too much because they try to make it a very simple to understand thing. The oil market is not simple by any stretch of the imagination. Remember, oil prices have been going down, but gas prices go up because it's a supply and demand issue. There's more oil, but there's less gas. So it's going to be trippy for a while for a lot of people to understand those concepts here. But again, you're already starting to see plane tickets getting more and more expensive. It's cheaper to fly internationally right now than just flying domestic for some dumb reason. People are still going to want to do road trips, guys. People are still going to want to do road trips, and people are still going to be able to pay for a lot of gas here. Still going to be able to pay for a lot of gas. And hey, Michael, please look at the trend line on inflation going back to the year 1929. It's tapping on it right now. The trend line. What's the ticker for it? What's the ticker for it, Michael? Gotta tell me the ticker, and I'll look it up for you very fast. That could be pretty interesting to watch. Unless it's just something that's simple like inflation. Let me type in inflation, see if it works. Inflation, consumer prices for the United States, or is it year over year? There's a couple here. Probably is not the one. Month, year over year. No, that's not it. Nope, that's not it either here. I can see on this chart we're just kind of in a skyrocketing motion at this point in time. All right, see. Hey Kelly, also how's life? I've been buying ADA, still holding strong. My wife holds Cosmos, Adam, Ripple, those nice ones. Life's been pretty good. I've been pretty tired. I've been overworking myself as usual, but I took a break yesterday and it felt really nice. Big thing for this week I'm trying to achieve is I'm trying to hire an editor. I'm doing a whole bunch of searching this week, and I've been talking to a whole bunch of people, and they're I'm waiting for a whole bunch of test videos back to see how if they're good, and I'm going to be hiring an editor for the channel for the daily crypto update videos, and then from there I'm going to probably just get more into tutorial stuff. Maybe I need to make some more tutorials for you guys as well. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on in my life. Hanging out with Loki, still hanging out with my mom and sister. Getting ready for the summer, pretty much. And hey, Michael, it wasn't the top one. It wasn't the other ones. I wonder if it's just not on TradingView, because when I click on them, TradingView turns all of the charts into line charts. So I don't know how to find the trend line off of that because everything was so sideways here. But if we do break above that inflation level, that could be interesting. But it's rare that we really hit major levels of inflation. We usually find a way to slow it down because, and remember, most of the inflation data that we see, it's year over year. So whatever the shock is that really started it off, that usually dissipates a little bit. What's been really bad this time is the government, and the Fed, the Biden administration and the Federal Reserve, you can kind of blame on both of them here. they kept on saying transitory. It's going to go away. No, no, it's not bad inflation. It's going to go away. Trust us, trust us, trust. It's going to go away. And then it didn't. And things started to get really, really bad. And then they had to really start making changes to the way the economy kind of moved. But basically, what happened after that is, instead of getting a heads up and starting to address the problems as they were arising, they waited too long. So now they have to kind of do more work, be more aggressive to really slow it down. So think of a car rolling down a hill towards you. If you stopped, like a light car, right? Just a light little car, like a little teeny bug, that where if it's coming down the hill and you're like right in front of it, you can stop it. It might take a little bit of effort, but you can stop it, right? Well, instead of doing that, they're waiting at the bottom of the hill, letting the car build up speed before they try to stop it. And now all of a sudden they're just like, kicked off the side of the road. And now they're trying to, now there's helicopters following the car going down the massive hill. Now there's bystanders looking at like what's going on over there. And now you see people trying to figure out like some smart way with like a whole bunch of people in offices or in front of TV screens trying to figure out a way to slow down the car, right? That's what you're trying to see right now. And the plan is in motion. The car has reached the top speed. It's just starting to slow a little bit, but we still don't know how long it's going to take to slow down the car. I hope you guys can envision that. I don't know if that was a good analogy, but I think you guys got it. Hey Alex, when would you consider selling a good amount of stocks crypto? What would be a sign for a market crash? For me, I normally look for death crosses, or I look for the potential for a death cross to happen. And by that, I mean, you usually see the 20 and the 50-day moving averages really looking pretty close right there. And then at the same time, you want to be looking for some type of major Fibonacci exponential moving Fibonacci extension level to be hit as well. So if we go back over here and, well, actually, we can just use this. No. Yeah, we can use this as a Bitcoin chart very fast. Bring it over to 3 minutes a second. Move over my microphone very fast. Let's do this here. No, let's do daily chart. Let's do daily chart. We don't need all these other stuff right here as well. Yeah, we can move everything. Okay. COVID one was kind of weird, but we can use this example for buying, and then this example for selling, and this example for buying, and this example for selling, since they're the more recent. But let's say you bought when Bitcoin was at the 200 weekly moving average here, right? So you bought down here, or maybe you bought the major capitulation, which was right here, I believe it was. Oh, right here, excuse me. Either way. Okay. Let's say you got a good buying average somewhere in this big block. It didn't have to be all the way at $3,000. It doesn't have. Maybe it's all the way up here at $4,000. Who cares? You found a good bull buying opportunity. Now that you're waiting for something big to happen, you're going to be waiting for something more like a death cross to happen, something really nasty. And you have to think that you have to be practical about this. There was a death cross right here. Obviously, you're not going to be buying right around here and selling right there. You're going to be waiting for that big move. So you got to wait for, got to wait a while, probably about a few months to a year, not a few months, like 6-7 months to a year plus. Once you start seeing some big moves and you have a golden cross in the 50 and the 20, things really start to look good for us, right? Going up, going up, going up. And all of a sudden, right up here, we get choppy. We get choppy way up here. We see a double top kind of forming. We break down below that. We move down a little bit, and then what do you see? You see a death cross right here. You can start to scale out. You can start to scale out of your positions around here, okay? You can start selling a little bit higher if you want to, but a lot of people just like to go off of the death cross there. So if you go off the death cross, at the time of the death cross, the price was actually all the way down here at $9,000. But even still, if you did the 200 weekly moving average, let's go a little bit above it just to make sure we're not trying to get the lowest price possible. But if you sell where the price was at the death cross, you're still up 159% on this particular chart. And at the all-time the highs for this rally, you would have gotten about 278. That's not really bad when you consider things, especially, you might want more money, but at the same time, you're still making a killing. And especially with this small rally that we saw, this wasn't an all-time high rally. This was just a smaller one. Usually we see the big rallies after halvings, Bitcoin halvings. So that's this after halving, whatever you call it. Another one after halving. This was not after one, okay? Now, The next big one is like happening in 2024, so we might have a little bit of a smaller rally before that actually occurs. But let's say, let's say we have a big one here. You bought around the 200 weekly moving average, right? It went down below it, but let's say you followed the rules, you bought the 200 weekly moving average. We had a golden cross there, we had two golden crosses there, then what happened? Oh boy, we kept on going up, going up, going up, and then boom, we had a death cross right here, okay? Things started to slow down here for a little bit of time, slow down here for a little bit of time, and all of a sudden, boom, there we go. And before I go back and do something else, again, golden crosses, had a little bit of a death cross there, but again, this wasn't too much of a really big rally, so that's what you're not gonna be selling right here. On top of that, just like a week before, we had a golden cross, which is the big golden cross we've been waiting for, the 50 over the 200. So you would have probably sold somewhere over here, right around here, around 56,000, and then buying it down here, kind of around 33. So right here, nobody's smart enough to get the exact bottom. If you get somewhere along the middle zone, fine. If you sell when the death cross happens, you're still walking away with 68%, which isn't bad considering how little time this little move was compared to this move took time. This move happened pretty darn fast, and it had a pretty big sell-off in the middle of it because, to be frank, there was a lot of free money out there, and we're not going to really have many free money events like this where the government's literally just printing out money just to give to everybody. Crazy theory. It helped a lot of people out, but the markets were kind of all over the place because of it. Now, in this circumstance, you buy down here at the 200 weekly moving average, and you sell at the death cross, even though during the death cross, the price is way down here. You still walk away with about 827% after a big move on the halving, okay? Yeah. Okay, the one thing here is, I didn't just say a death cross, I said that you can see a death cross kind of coming here. So you may even start to shave some off way over here. You don't have to sell everything. You just want to shave some off here. I usually sell a large chunk of mine at the point of a death cross here, okay? And see again, okay, well, I don't see a death cross coming anytime here. I don't see much happening here. Whoa, major sell-off right there. Now we're coming down hard, not being able to break above the 50-day moving average. I can start to see a death cross forming. I can start to scale out well before that nasty moment, right? What actually happened right here, yeah, right there. So, you got to be able to anticipate it a little bit. But for the most part, there's just a few big bearish indicators I'm looking for. If you want to look at the weekly chart and you look at what happens each time, we usually have some, how do you want to do this? You see how we kind of go steady for like at least a month or so, where things just kind of go sideways? About a month of just going sideways. Then eventually things start to break down. That's actually happened for more than a month, but we were steady for, well, actually here, we weren't steady there. Steady for about a month, and then a couple months later, boom, came down. Steady for about a month, not really much happening, boom, right? So we kind of trade in this little bit of a holding pattern for like a month where not much is happening. Everybody's just kind of waiting, and then boom, it suddenly falls out of nowhere. So you could be going off of that method as well, but test out your own theories and see which one is going to work for you. For me, I start scaling out like way back over here, scaling out a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. We're kind of slowing down a little bit. There's a chance of a death cross. I'll sell a little bit more off here, a little bit more off here. And the reason I'm okay to do that and not be mad that I'm not making crazy profits is, remember, you buy at the 200 weekly moving average or somewhere close to it. I'm still making like 800% profit. And if I get at the very top, I made 1,000% profit. But I'm not going to be that greedy guy that risks losing a bunch of money because I wanted the extra 200%. I'll take 800% any day of the week for holding for like a year, right? A couple of years. 800%, ooh, that's beautiful. And that's just Bitcoin. Imagine what the altcoins are going to give you. Much, much better returns there. My point is here, if you try to wait and you try to really hope for it too long, when you start to go sideways for a little bit of time, when we drop, if you hold on too long, then all of a sudden, instead of making like, when things were choppy around like 800, let's say 800%, 825% profits, if you wait and you panic, then you're only making 500% profits. Then you're really kicking yourself in the foot because now you got to wait for a whole other cycle to kick off. And if people got lucky this cycle, but you're not going to always be lucky like that, right? In this circumstance, if you waited too long, you could have got, if you wanted the maximum profit, 348%. If you waited till things got choppy, you made like 222%. But then if you kept on waiting, by the end of it, you're only making about 23% profit. Then you had to wait for the next big cycle, and that's years of waiting right there. There we go. Okay. And hey, Bideford, thanks everybody for liking the channel. I really do appreciate it. Um, can you make a tutorial to buy XRP? I did it through Trust Wall. I got chewed up by fees. Hey, Caleb. Yeah. I can make a video showing you how to buy XRP. Um, yeah, I'll make a video for it. I'll probably work on it this weekend. It shouldn't be too hard. It'll be simple and straight to the point. I'll just name it something like how to buy XRP in 2022, and you can watch it. Yeah, I'll definitely make a video though. Let's see. And hey, Jim Bob, thanks Mike for taking the time to stream tonight. I hope your family's doing good. They're doing good. After this stream is over in a few minutes, I'm gonna go upstairs and they got some Philly cheesesteaks and fries. So they're gonna enjoy some Philly cheesesteaks and fries. I got a Philly cheesesteak before the stream. I gotta reheat it up because I literally got it like 10 minutes before I started streaming. So I was like, shucks, I gotta wait a little bit. So what I did is I scooped some meat out of the Chili's cheesesteak. I put it on Loki's kibble, then kind of stirred it up a little bit. And now he's like sleeping over there, and he's just like passed out because he's so full from kibble and cheesesteak. So he's having a good time. I haven't been giving him as many snacks like off the human food plate for a while now, so he's enjoying the little bits that I give him. I don't want him to get too used to human food. If I buy a token with USTD and transfer it to a wallet, are you still tied to USTD? No. If you buy Bitcoin, you own Bitcoin. Now, if you own Bitcoin, you can sell that for a specific currency. So let's say, for a crazy example, let's say you used UST to buy Bitcoin when it was $1. Then you transfer that Bitcoin to another wallet. When you transfer it back over to the exchange, it's now in Bitcoin. You can sell that Bitcoin not for UST, but you can sell it for USDC or Tether, depending on what the market allows. Now, you may have to move it to a specific exchange that allows you to sell it for that, but you're not going to be tied to that currency that you bought it for, okay? It just depends on what market you're looking at. But yeah, you're not going to be tied to UST or tied to Tether based on it. That's why, yeah, you're not going to be tied to it now. And hey, D's, have a great rest of your night, man. And I really do appreciate you guys being here when the channel got back. Dude, I was so happy to get the channel back, guys. You guys have no idea. It was because you guys understood me. Like, I thought I did nothing wrong. A lot of you guys thought I did nothing wrong. But because YouTube banned me, I was like, well, what could I have done wrong? What could it have been? What could I have done that was so bad to get my channel terminated? And so we were all thinking about all these crazy ideas. And then, a week later, oh, sorry, it was our bad. Right, but I'm glad I let the process work itself out. I'm glad YouTube, that their process worked. Had a hiccup, of course, but I'm glad the overall process worked. So kind of builds me a little bit of faith back in YouTube, right? And hey, Jay, good for your diet. I know, right? See, what I do for my diet is I just spend a lot of money on fruits, vegetables, rice is my grain, and then chicken or duck, and I can make a lot of meals out of just a few different ingredients. But what I've been getting into lately is juicing. I love juicing. I've been juicing apples, carrots, a whole bunch of stuff. I've just been juicing up a bunch of stuff, and it's been very, very, very fun and very, very, very tasty. And, since my car broke down and I'm waiting until the second to go take it to the shop, I'm waiting forever, but I trust this mechanic, so I'm just going to live with it. Everybody's getting ready for the summer rush, right? But because I trust the guy, I'm going to wait for it. What I've been doing is just ordering off of Instacart, which has been very, very nice. Very actually cheap. I'm surprised how cheap Instacart is. I give a few dollar tip to the people that bring over my groceries. It's not that bad. Not that bad at all. Most of it, I would give more of a tip, but then I realized from the place where they're driving my stuff to me, they're only driving about 2 minutes away from the grocery store. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go with the tip. But what do you call, so it's nice, easy. I just got a whole bunch of fruit and juicing, guys. Juicing is the thing I like to do. I was so surprised how much fun juicing is. I don't like really cleaning the juicer out afterwards, but besides that, juicing is a really fun thing to do. And hey, the King, happy to see you back. I love me a good steak with whiz in the works. Ooh, I haven't had steak. Oh, no, different steak. I haven't had, the last time I had a bunch of cheesesteaks within a week, I think it was, when I went to Philadelphia, like for my friend's wedding. I had I did the Geno's Pats and Geno's thing that I always do when I go there. One Pat, I forget which one's better, but there's a Pats and Geno's over in Philadelphia. One is clearly better than the other one. I always forget which one it is. But overall, when it comes to Pats and Geno's, there are so many better Philadelphia cheesesteak places than those two. A lot better. Next time I go over to Philadelphia, I'm going to try some more cheesesteaks, but I rarely ever have cheesesteaks, but they're just so good. But like, I can never buy one for myself because I am on a diet, and I'm just like, that's like pure. That's like a week's worth of exercise right there with in a bun, in a bun. How low do you think this bear market will continue? Right now, it's my opinion that we're probably going to go down either to the 200 weekly moving average or maybe 1,000 points down below that. So that right now, that's kind of about $20,000. If for whatever reason the market gets really bad, like way out there, like worse than everybody else expects, then I can see us going down to about $16,000, probably $16,000 if we really do make it down that low. But that's if things get really, really bad. And by really, really bad, I mean like people pay $6 a gallon for gas, mass layoffs ensue, like, you know, really, really bad economic damage that like really upsets people. Like people are really freaking out about the way of the world type of stuff. Oh, look at Bitcoin going up here a little bit. Ooh, whoa, somebody's buying up. Ooh, look at that. Damn. Well, there we go. Altcoins better start popping up here as well with all the altcoins now. Oh, man. Let's check that out in the second chart here very fast. Somebody is buying up Bitcoin right now. Look at this. Back up to... Oh, now somebody's trying to short it back down here. Somebody's like, that's enough of that. There we go. But we can keep going, guys. A little bit of a soft. That's fun. Yeah, you're seeing some action right now. Whoosh. Yeah, these are not small moves by any stretch of the imagination right now for Bitcoin. Huh? There we go. Go back to the 5 minute, I guess. But yeah, yowza. That was a nice little move by Bitcoin right there. Somebody's trying to do something here. A little bit of a double bottom. Bottom, neckline, pop up. Might look a little bit better on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, there you go. It looks a lot better on the 15-minute chart. Bottom, broke above it. Boom. Yeah, wow. Somebody really wants to reverse here. Ethereum as well, right there, right? Bottom, broke above the neckline. Double top in the middle right there, but that's fine. Moving up here a little bit more. Yeah, somebody's trying to get us going up here a little bit. What's it here? There we go. And hey, Jono, so hold on a little longer till I buy. Yeah, it depends on your strategy. So there's a few different strategies out there if you guys want to buy Bitcoin. I'm doing a hybrid of multiple strategies. So I'm buying crypto every single day that we're down below the 100 weekly moving average, okay? So that gives me enough time in case we don't actually run into the 200 weekly moving average, in case something crazy happens, we don't hit it this time during capitulation. And we go up, I have crypto in the market. I will make money no matter what happens now, but just by buying every day underneath the 100 weekly moving average. Now, I am also going to buy quite a bit of Bitcoin and the altcoins and such when the day that Bitcoin capitulates. In my opinion, Bitcoin never had that full high volume day where we just kind of gave out with massive amounts of volume. Like I'm not talking about massive amounts of volume. And by that I mean oh, that's the monthly, daily. There we go. So you see this level of volume right here. This is what we saw this week. This is the last capitulation. See the volume is instead of sorry. The volume for this capitulation is way up here. And if I just move it down, this is where the capitulation was for the other day. I don't think we came up high enough. We should be closer to up here, but we're way down here. And of course, during this capitulation, oh, this is actually different. Let me see. This is Coinbase's volume right here. This one kind of matched up capitulation to capitulation. That one's not. This is kind of new to me. So right there, we did kind of reach that volume there for that capitulation. Even though after this capitulation here, Bitcoin came down another 27%. So, but yeah, I mean, now that I look at that, even if it's just Coinbase's data, I could see more of a case for saying we capitulated that day. I'm still not going to agree with it 100%, but I could see that people would want to buy at that level in particular. But and then go all the way back over here to 2014. Is this the capitulation? I don't remember which one this was. No, this is different. This is gonna be Coinbase. It's not gonna have the same volume as Binance. But I normally use Binance's volume, not Coinbase, so that's why everything looks a little bit different here. But according to this one, we did have some good volume there, so that might be something interesting to look at though. But again, we're still looking pretty bearish going forward here. But what was the question? But yeah, you want to either buy at the 200 weekly moving average off of a major capitulation, which you can say that one was a few days ago, or you can just buy a little bit every day. So, or do a hybrid. I'm doing the hybrid model. Hey, he's probably Secret Fish buying a bit. I mean, he could have been. If I was Secret, I think he would probably be still wanting to short this sucker down right now. But we did just have a reversal, so then maybe that means we're going to start off today with a good. Maybe this is the bottom. Maybe this is as low as we go for today, and then maybe we have a really green day going into tomorrow. Maybe that's what this means here. Now, pretty risky to just assume that, but you're going to probably see a lot of people take positions here over the next few hours. They're going to be hoping that the futures turn green, and since we had such a really, really bad day in the stock market, we might go up 300 to 400 points tomorrow to kind of say, okay, well now we had a really freak out moment here, but now we can calm down for a day or two. Probably that sailor dude. And that's right there. And hey, General, not much capital, so put 25% into the big dip, waiting for the other 75% to maybe another 25% buy. Yeah, as long as you have a plan, it doesn't really matter too much when you buy right now, where you buy right now. Just make sure you have a plan, and just make sure you have some interest in the market right now. Figure out your plan, and just whatever you do, just make sure to try to stick to it. The economy is going to be bad for a while, so we should have a pretty bad crypto market and stock market for a while here. So you got time to buy a little bit here, a little bit there, and so forth, right? And hey, D's, probably Secret Fish buying a bit. Oh yeah. Oh, joke. About Secret, yeah. Secret Fish has the power to make those moves. That's the crazy thing. But I normally see him do it on the shorting side when he knows something's about to dump. He just goes, and it just goes, comes crashing down. Remember, he's one of the guys that took Sheeb down back in last year. That was crazy to watch. Sheeb really, really took a hit. Okay, anything else here? I think that's it. I'm going to call it a night, guys. I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I'm going to go upstairs and eat the chili cheesesteak with my family, and then chill out and watch a movie before I go into bed, because I got to wake up really early to make that daily crypto update video for you, okay? Okay, guys? Sorry, guys. I'm talking fast today. But okay. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bitcoin looks like it's trying to make a little bit of a reversal for today, and that'll be really fun to check out. Just keep an eye on Bitcoin today, guys, and some of those altcoins. We'll be watching this stuff quite a bit today, but understand we are still in this very nasty bearish market. We may have a little bit of a rally tomorrow just because the stock market went down like 1,200 points there or something like that. So have a great night.